All right, welcome everyone. My name is Jason Oliver Chang. I'm Associate Professor of History and Asian American Studies at the University of Connecticut, where I serve as the director of the Asian and Asian American Studies Institute. I'm so excited about Sikh Studies Week and the programs that we've lined up this week. So welcome everyone. I see some folks are coming online, so please get comfortable. Uh, we're really proud to offer this week-long academic programming in Sikh history, culture, and politics. And our work with community groups is a process of relationship building that sparks local inquiry and creates new knowledge about our state's historically marginalized communities. The Sikh Art Gallery in Norwich is an important partner and leader for the work of recovering hidden histories and supporting educational efforts. So this community's commitment to social justice, anti-racism, and coalitions for democracy and human rights in the 21st century is evident in all that they do. So I want to thank Creative Director Swarnjit Singh Khalsa for his partnership and co-sponsorship of Sikh Studies Week. This has just been tremendous, and I'm so glad to be in partnership with you. This evening marks the third event in Sikh Studies Week, and we're featuring Manmohan Singh Bharara and his talk, The History of Sikhs in Connecticut. Research and presentations like this are essential for those of us involved in helping the state to meet its historic mandate to teach Asian American and Pacific Islander studies as part of a broader effort to include ethnic studies in our K through 12 public schools. And this is important because this statutory requirement includes teaching local history, much of which can't be learned in books in library because that research hasn't been done yet. So those stories live in our communities and in our families. The requirement to teach the diversity of all of our neighbors here in Connecticut is the calling of a lifetime, so that we can be literate in each other's stories and struggles. All right, so all of the events in Sikh Studies Week will be recorded and shared freely to support ongoing learning and access, so we can contribute to support our educators who'll be working to include accurate and relevant lessons in API studies and ethnic studies across the state. So with that I want to get out of the way now and turn it over to Swarnji and Manmohan. Thank you so much for all that you've done, and very much looking forward to this presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jason. Thank you. We all appreciate all the hard work you put in for all the various different diverse communities and making sure their history is acknowledged and they feel part of the state of Connecticut. And I'm just gonna quickly say welcome to everyone for being here. As a director of Sikh Art Gallery, one of our missions is to make sure everybody feel this new city, Norwich, or this state that we all live in, we are part of this state. And we need to give 100%, which we will only give if we will have that feeling that this is the place for everyone. So this is very inclusive space, and I welcome everybody to come take a tour or even go on our website, www.sikhartgallery.com, and you can take virtual tour as well. One of my job duties today is to recognize Manmohan Singh Bharara, who is our guest speaker here. He lives in Hamden, which is long ride, so we really thank him for coming here all the way. He's also director of Sikh Art Gallery as well, along with our other two directors who have joined us on the Zoom as well, Kuljit Singh and Bakshish Singh. So again, this is a team effort. Mr. Manmohan Singh has been in Connecticut for over 40 years now, I would say.
Since 1985.
Since 1985, and I was born in 1985. So his experience, his struggles, he has raised two kids in Connecticut. He is an engineer by trade. So where he will be giving presentation today, he'll be also letting us know about Sikh history in general, as well as his experiences in the state of Connecticut, And I think these things are very important to be documented. And everybody should know that we came here for better life, and due to the lot of circumstances that was created back in Punjab, which led us to come here. But Manmohan Singh Bharara has been around in community since he came here. He has been leading this community for all these years, and one of the key person in making of all the Gurudwaras in state of Connecticut. Right now, currently, he's serving as one of the key member in Gurudwara Sachkhand Darbar, Hamden, which is near the Yale University. Very accessible Gurudwara to a lot of folks in the Connecticut. And I think we as a community appreciate his service and his energy, even as of today, that how passionate he is about the Sikh community and acknowledgement of Sikh history in general as well. So we welcome you all here. We welcome you as well. And if I can be any assistance, please let me know. I'll be going back on my seat and making sure everybody gets into this Zoom meeting. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev Singh ji. We are very thankful. So let me start with the greeting. Sikh greeting. Waheguru ji ka Khalsa.
Waheguru ji ki Fateh.
We belong to one God, and all of our achievements belong to the God. It's not our achievements, God's achievement. That's the meaning of the greeting. Waheguru ji ka Khalsa. Waheguru ji ki Fateh. Waheguru word is commonly used in Sikh faith, which means wonderful God. We address God as Waheguru. That means God is wonderful. First of all, I'm very thankful to University of Connecticut History Department for bringing this in the limelight, because there are certain things which are not in history books. People live daily and things stay in their heart, and they need to be given to people, because those are living histories and carry a lot of information and lessons for the future generations. So I have to commend University of Connecticut History Department for embarking upon this something very novel, where something which is not in history books, and history of Sikhs in Connecticut. Before I start, we need to know who the Sikhs are. Sikh means a learner who is every day, he or she, there's no gender in it. Sikh can be female, Sikh can be male, because in Sikhs, women carry equal status. That's a part and belief of the faith. Women must be recognized as a equal partner. So Sikh means a person who wakes up in the morning, wants to learn about God, learn about his surrounding, our surrounding, and be faithful to God. A Sikh has to be spiritual. You cannot be a Sikh without being a spiritual. That's number one. A Sikh must recognize that God exists, Waheguru exists. Number one. Number two, there's a power in the prayers. That's the second belief, that God has given us a very powerful thing that's called as quote unquote prayer. We can offer prayer and just listen. Doesn't have to be a certain direction, certain time. There's no direction recognition in Sikhism. You can get up any time, male or female, anywhere, any direction. You can offer prayer to God, and you don't even need language. The only language God knows is a language of love. Number three, Sikhs believe that there's one God and we all are children of the same God. There's a universal brotherhood and sisterhood in the Sikh faith. Then the other thing, who is the founder of Sikhism? Because Sikhism was founded in the 15th century by Guru Nanak, the first Guru of the Sikhs. He came up with three things. Those have to be the underlying principles of being a Sikh. Number one, get up in the morning, take shower and meditate. Remember God, number one. Number two, go to work and make honest living. So number one, meditation. Number two, honest living. Number three, come home, take care of your family, and then take care of the needy, help the needy. These are three core beliefs of Sikhism. Personally speaking, I believe Sikh faith is not religion, it's a way of life. If you do not live that style of life, you cannot be a Sikh, even if you by dress you look like a Sikh. So Sikhism is a way of life. You have to live actually and treat everybody equally, help the needy, irrespective of caste, color, creed. We do not recognize that society should be compartmentalized based upon their religion or whatever their beliefs are, how they look, how they dress. We do not recognize all that. We believe that everybody is equal. Now, Sikhism is the fifth largest faith in the world. There are about 25 million Sikhs worldwide, and 500,000 plus Sikhs live in America. Sikhs have been in America for over 100 years. And they have contributed a lot towards the society as a positive, because Sikhs, every Sikh considers himself as a mainstream person, and they consider their moral duty to contribute to the society as an engineer, as a doctor, as a professional, or as an entrepreneur, or as a farmer. And Sikhs are farmers too in California. And Sikhs believe that whatever you do in life has to be done honestly, and considering that all humans are created equal, you serve the humanity as a whole. So that's the core beliefs of the Sikhs. As I told you, it's the fifth largest religion. It's an autonomous religion. And in succession, there have been 10 gurus, from Guru Nanak until Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji, which is the 10th guru. But who's the present guru of Sikhs? Present guru of Sikh is the Sikh holy scripture, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. We do not call it a holy book. Holy book is not the word for the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It's a holy Sikh scripture, and it is a word of God. And we consider Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji as the living guru because it contains the words, which is called the Shabad, Gurbani, which has nothing else. The entire Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji has 1,430 pages, and it only talks about, in the forms of hymns, glory of God. Glory of God. You cannot sing enough glory of God. God is infinite, and that's how Guru Granth Sahib Ji also gives us a way of life, how we should live as a human being on the face of this earth. And time to time, Guru Granth Sahib Ji advises in various hymns to us as a human being. We have to be a good human before we can be anything else. This is the fundamental thing. Coming back to state of Connecticut. You know, in 60s, there's no immigration in the United States. But some people came to this country all over the United States, especially talking about when we specific in Connecticut. They came as doctors, engineers, social workers, nurses, because that was the demand of the time. And they were given employment in this country. One of them happened to be my own older brother, who came here in 1960s. He's a pediatrician, he's now 83 years old. And when he came, landed in Buffalo in the hospital as a doctor, had a job, and he was a pediatrician doing internships and all that. And then he was certified board later on. But the thing is this, during that time, in 60s or between 60s and 70s, these people are doing their jobs, but all of a sudden President Nixon came to immigration. So in Connecticut, I will divide this in three parts. One is the Fairfield County, the second is the Naugatuck Valley County, and third is the Greater Hartford area. These are three areas where Sikhs were numbered families, no more than 12 families total. Maybe less than 20 maximum, but certainly there was no more than 20 families in Connecticut in 60s and 70s, but they were all professionals. They came as professionals. But when the immigration opened up, they invited the people, like I'm the first batch. I came here in 1978 on a green card. My brother became a US citizen through the process, legal process. Then he sponsored me. I got a visa, I was an engineer in Delhi. Just gives you history, and that history you can repeat with all other people. So I got visa within 2-3 weeks. I didn't want to leave because I had a good job. So I kept my visa, green card in my shelf. And 6 months, that was valid for 6 months. 2 weeks were left only to expire my visa. My brother calls me, listen, if you're not coming, I'm not filing papers again for you. It's too much work. So I came here. Since I came in 1978, until today, I only went to India twice. I love this country. And my 2 visits are pertain to, one is when my father died, I went there. Secondly, to visit all the Gurudwaras. I love United States. It's a place where sky is the limit. A person is treated as a human being. But if somebody wants me to sum it all up, what is good about the United States? A human being is treated as a human being. That is the elite of this country. And the freedom, of course, is the underlying factor here. You are free and to flourish, and sky's the limit as long as you do the right things in life. Now, in 70s, when people came here, there's something else in Sikhism. Wherever Sikh will land or will live, as I told you, Sikhs have to be spiritual. Their life starts, of course, you've got to have a home, you've got to have a family, but all this is considered that you've got to have a job and a business or whatever, way of living. But Sikh, the whole system is incomplete unless you have a Gurudwara. Gurudwara means it's a place of worship. We call it a house of prayer for Sikh faith. Like in Jewish, they call it synagogue. In Sikhism, they call it Gurudwara, house of God. So Sikhs, wherever they go, they will want a Gurudwara. A Gurudwara is a place which you can go as a community and remember God, sing hymns, sing the glory of God, but in the presence of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji on a podium, decorated on a podium. So I invite whoever our audience are here at this Sikh Art Gallery and who are at the Zoom, I invite them to visit Sikh Gurudwara if they really want to know about Sikhism. Visit, and Sundays, mostly Sundays, Gurudwara. I'll talk about that soon. Let me start so that we don't run out of time. So the Sikhs, what they did here, they had more resources at the time. In 70s or 70 to 80s, for that 10-year period, people used to gather once a month in each other's home and sing the glory of God, which is called Kirtan, singing hymn. Singing hymn is called Kirtan in our language, singing Qurbani, the word of God, out of the Holy Scripture. So they will meet there, but at the same time, Sikh Sangat, congregation, and the prayer is considered incomplete unless 2 things are done. One is when you stand up and pray, the prayer must end that you are praying for the universe as a whole, which is called Nanak Naam Chardi Kala Tere Pane Sarbat Bana. No matter how much is your own big list of demands when you offer prayer, but unless you offer at the end, the closing, that you pray for everybody on the face of this earth, your prayer is incomplete. We believe it has not been heard by God. So you must pray for everybody. Number 1, of course, as I told you, singing of hymns, singing the glory of God. But at the end of the service, you sit down together, and irrespective of rich, poor, doesn't matter. You sit on one level, which is a carpet. If you are handicapped, you're given chair or table to eat, but sit on floor, which is carpeted floor or whatever, decorated place, and eat together. Share the meal, and we cook the meal together. So sharing meal eliminates the status, individual status. All are equal, or everybody sits at the same level. So that is the format of Gurudwaras. Now coming back to again the history, first of all, Sikhs here, when they came as doctor, engineers in the beginning, then they sponsored their families. Slowly the families came, and it is very hard to come when you first come in a country to get settled. So there's a struggle to it. I had a friend, I asked him to advise me when I first time came, what's the advice for me? He said the advice for you is poverty, hunger, starvation. You work hard, don't worry about food, work hard. So I work as a student, go to college, work part-time, so be a student part-time, vice versa. and then you get to a point where you can make a decent living. So it is a struggle. It's not easy to, when you come to a country, it's a where you have to make both ends meet and take care of your families, because sometimes people who are married came with families. So now you've got to support the family. So during this struggle, people opened small businesses. They contributed a lot to the state of Connecticut. But at the same time, now I show you here, this is the basic Sikhs in Connecticut. Population is around 5,006, 5 Gurudwaras. As I told you, Gurudwaras can, the history of Sikhs in Connecticut is the same, history of Gurudwaras. They are interrelated. So if you want to know the Sikh history, you have to know that there's a Gurudwara, Sachkhand Gurudwara in Hamden. First of all, the very first Gurudwara which was created as I told you, people doing their meeting at home, but then they started renting a place. So the first was Norwalk. This was the first one, which is now in Norwalk. We started in Darien and Stamford, rented a place, which is now called Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Foundation. So that's our first Gurudwara. You will see the timeline. Then second came into existence was the Southington. And third came into existence was Hamden. Then in Windsor, there are 2 Gurudwaras. They came into existence in 2013 and 2016. Gurudwara in Norwalk, it started basically in 1985 from homes. Then by the time we reached we will see the timeline when they bought the place. I will show you that this quickly right here. Norwalk was first purchased at this location. This property was purchased on 4/1/1997. Then they have a permanent home. That's first one. Second one was in Southington, which was on 9/21/1999. I have to talk to you about Southington has quite a history. I will mention that to you. The third was in Hamden, which is Gurudwara Sachkhand Gurudwara Hamden. That started on May 17, 2012. So this was a place where we could get connected with the community and do service to humanity and teach our children the Sikh heritage and invite other people from. When you live in a society where you have to, you got to be mainstream and understand each other and respect each other's belief. Which is called interfaith understanding. So in Gurudwara, that's also taught to the children that interfaith understanding is very important. And we have to respect each other's faith. You can keep your belief. You can keep, this is my belief, this is your belief, as long as we are not hurting each other. We are serving the society positively. We are a good citizen. That's what we train our children in the Gurudwaras. Or even at home, that you have to be part and parcel. So Sikhs came to Connecticut in 1960. Immigration in general increased in America due to passage of 1985 Immigration Act. In 1970 and 86, families increased in manifold in Fairfield County, Westchester, New York, and started monthly congregation Kirtan in their homes. Here's the history, starting history now. After 1984, you remember, everybody knows Sikh genocide in India. And you can, I'll just leave it up to there for the students to discover it, because everybody's a student of history and they're educated to explore 1984 on Google it and on internet. There's a lot of misinformation too, but still at least they will know what happened in 1984. So that's a part like Sikh. So some of the Sikhs at that time had to leave India. So they came to this country. So the Sikhs came all over, mainly in California, New York, and some part adjoining state, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. But in Connecticut, I think mostly Sikhs started coming after 1980s. Now, as of today, in Connecticut, I would say there are 500 plus families from Stamford until Enfield, which is the entire Connecticut. The 300 are active and 200 are here. They're scattered, but total about 500 families are connected to these Gurudwaras, various Gurudwaras. For 2 years continue, decided to building. And so Sikhs wanted to build the first place. So this is the first place I told you. Finally, one place in Norwalk was found on Mott Avenue. It was 1,000 square feet, but this was rented. For 2-3 years, they stayed there. But then eventually on 642 West Avenue, Norwalk, and Norwalk found a permanent place, which is now 622 West Avenue. So I recommend you to visit all these places, the 5 different places, learn different things. So Norwalk was decided home for the Sikhs because it was centrally located to all active Sikh families. Excuse me. With the help of broker Fred Brown, we had to mention that broker because he helped them to find the place. Okay, so we recognize because he helped Sikh community to start the first Gurudwara Sahib, and we had no money at the time too. Money was the issue. So somehow with creativity, 275,000 were arranged. People put their CDs in pledge, and somehow bought a bank space that's a closed bank. So that became, so this is how Norwalk started on 4/1/1997. And until today, people are meeting there. It's in very good place. So they are making more progress. That's when it's got Guru Tegh Bahadur Foundation, purchased at $275,000 on 4/1/1997. It's a city record. These are the city records, legal documents, part of the history. So then, so here's Norwalk started. We all started together. I used to live in Stamford at that time. I was an engineer in New York, and we started. So I am one of the co-founder or co-member of Norwalk Gurudwara Sahib, who was actively involved over there. So then we decided, more families came, accumulated. So people from Hartford, they thought that Norwalk is too far away. So we rented a place in Ansonia, second floor. So we started a second Gurudwara on a rented place, which people from greater Hartford area was going. In Norwalk, people from greater Stamford and Westchester County was going. So when we started in 1996 in Ansonia, but a tragic situation happened in 1998. I really want to mention that here. We had a fire in that building. Our Gurudwara was on the second floor. So found out the reason of the fire was the building which we were in, downstairs in the basement, the heating system backfired. There's a whole YouTube description on it. I will send you the link in the system. It is worth watching because General John Holland was the governor at that time. The fire got out of hand, and 3 fire department of three cities department, Seymour, Ansonia, and other surrounding area, they came to control the fire, and millions of gallons was poured over there, and people lost their inventory, and buildings were gutted. But surprisingly, that's the reason I'm mentioning that, we were on the second floor, and in one room where Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji was there, because we go there weekly, nothing happened there. Nothing happened there. Even the canopy, which Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji had a cloth canopy on it, that was intact. And underneath where Guru Granth Sahib Ji was resting, that bed, underneath there was a little chest of wood, which has some checks in it. People donated. We even cashed those checks. And everybody lost their inventory. The place was gutted. That portion was intact. And the town people, their crane system, they helped us to bring the Holy Scripture out with respect. And that was called a miracle at that time. We don't believe in miracles. But that's where you can say the God exists. That's one example. So there's a whole history to this thing. You really want to discover. This is Norwalk Gurudwara Sahib. So things are going side by side here. I'm mixing up things, so you have to, that's the way it's going right now. That's the Sikh temple Gurudwara Sahib in Norwalk. These are the inside people making langar, and this is a holy scripture, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. This shows what happens inside. So right now, you're seeing some picture of Norwalk Gurudwara, established on Norwalk. So this is the whole story. That $10 contributed 140K, which enabled bank to give us loans, and then this is how we got it. That's the process of getting a loan at the time, because we were hand to mouth at the time. We had no money, so it was an easy thing to establish a Gurudwara Sahib financially. But now, now we are at a point. Norwalk Gurudwara Sahib has already bought a new land and got a permit. They will build a Gurudwara the way it should look, and they will be building it soon. So they are in this process has already started, and that is the rendering of how the place is going to look like at the new address.
Is that going to be the first mosque Gurudwara in the country?
No, no. In the country, there are countless. There are over 400, 500.
Yeah.
Like this. California, there's a lot of bigger than this.
Oregon.
In Southington, I'm coming to Southington. Southington was built in 1999, 2010. Sorry, and in 1999 we came in that place, and 2010 we built it, which is about 11,000 square foot premises. So this is since I'm on Norwalk, being the first Gurudwara, I will be coming to, and this is the Ansonia situation. We are renting the place, so that you know the glimpses of things which I'm talking. Then this is how we sit in the Gurudwara Sahib, how we bow before Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Then we sit. This is the discipline of Gurudwara Sahib, so that you know the format. So these are the cuttings of the newspapers that how Gurudwara history came, and all this will be available online. And now this is the fire. I'm talking. The fire happened in 1998, October 20th, 1998, because we came into Ansonia in 1996. So now, to answer your question, I'm coming to your question about the second Gurudwara. Second Gurudwara Sahib is in Southington. It started in Ansonia. So you will see, here's the application for the permit to have a place of worship in Ansonia. So these are my signatures here. And back in 4/23/1996, we went to Ansonia town. We applied for permit to have a place of worship, which we rented. So that's a legal document. Then when the fireplace took place in 1998, these are the pictures of that. These are the news cuttings. Then over here, Ansonia Gurudwara and Southington Gurudwara. This is the current Gurudwara Sahib in Southington. Ansonia, so when the fire took place in Ansonia, what happened? We have no place of worship. So the mayor of the town, I think his name was Nancy Valentine, I hope I'm saying it correctly, it's in the newspaper. She came to us, she offered the town location. They had one building vacant. She said, no rent, just pay for the electric bill and use this until you find a permanent home. So town gave us the place for place of worship. So using that place for a year or so, but it was all in the newspaper that fire, and then all of a sudden one broker from Southington calls us that there's a such and such place for sale. This was a Redman's banquet hall. Some Italian group was selling a property. If you want to use it, it's available, and you can make a deal with them. So we came there, we thought it's a good location. Southington is suitable, so we bought that place. So that's what I was showing to you. We bought that in 1999, right here. If I can, right here. That's when we bought the 1610 West Street. So that organization is called as Connecticut Sikh Association Inc., which runs Gurudwara Nanak Darbar. So that's how the names are. This over here is Guru Tegh Bahadur Foundation. That's in the name of ninth Guru. This one is in the name of first Guru. So this is just the way we do it as a gesture. So this is called Connecticut Sikh Association Inc. That's the organization which runs Gurudwara Guru Nanak Darbar. So we started in the old building. There's an old structure there. There might be a picture here somewhere, which I want to show you, just to jump a little bit over there. But then we'll come back. This was the building we bought. That's the first pamphlet we made for fundraising. That's a copy of the first pamphlet. And that's the building we were in. It's still there. And then what happened, and the adjoining house came on sale. He was kind enough. Okay, first of all, we must be good neighbor. When he wanted to sell the house, he didn't put on the market. He said, I want you to have it. So if we were not in a good neighbor, he said, I'm not going to tell them. I don't want them to have it. So that tells you he was a good neighbor. That gentleman, he was building a new house. He sold that house at a very reasonable price too. So we got a 3-acre land now over there. I invite you to go see 1610 West Street in Southington, that Gurudwara. It's a very beautiful. So that's second Gurudwara came into existence. It came to from Norwalk to Ansonia to Southington. So this was purchased in here's a permit. These are the permits. This is a legal permit at Ansonia that we took a permit to start a place of worship there and a rental place. And this is the permit on August 6, 1999. We got a permit from the town of Southington, and all these permits are unanimous. No opposition. That's another good point I'm going to tell you. So they gave us the permission to buy, because we closed our property in September. The condition was we didn't want to buy the property until we get a permit. So permit was in August, and then we purchased in September. So this is the fundraising flyer. So now we are at Southington. This is the history of Sikhs.
Was the Southington Gurudwara, was that purpose built or as a Gurudwara?
I think Gurudwara. Okay. The decoration is.
Okay.
It is not exact. If you really want to see the real Gurudwara, you have to go online. Sachkhand Sri Harmandir Sahib, which people call Golden Temple. So you want to really visit that on internet. That's how Gurudwara should look. That is the Gurudwara side. So, but sometimes because of fund restraint, you cannot have all the architects. So then Southington's Gurudwara Sahib, I want to go back to there one more time. So when you go there, this is what article on Sikhnet about the fire. This means Samarth means God is powerful. That's what it means. There's a site called sikhnet.com which captures all the Sikh news. I also invite you to go on, write down sikhnet.com, go visit their site. So they put an article on this fire too. And the article was published on July 4, 1998. The fire happened in October 1998. So these are the timelines. And these are the permits. And then now, after that, we found out that there's a need for Gurudwara Sahib. There's a vacuum in the Hamden area. Why? Okay, you will be surprised why there's a vacuum. There's a in Norwalk, then there's a Hamden, but we found out in Hamden area there are 4 universities. There's Yale, there's Quinnipiac, there's Sutherland, and then there is the University of New Haven and Bridgeport. So all these foreign students, they have no convents. So we needed another location, and people working here, working odd hours, they cannot come Sundays. So there has to be something nearby where they can go to, and we found a location which is accessible by bus, and that is how the Hamden Gurudwara Sahib, which is called Gurudwara Sachkhand Darbar, was established in 2012. So location filled up the vacuum in the area, available to Yale and other universities, public transportation. But there's a unique thing which is on slated right now at Gurudwara Sachkhand or Hamden. We have a building which needs a renovation, which we are going to dedicate to Guru Nanak Food Pantry, open to all faiths. Rather, we're going to need help on that. So we're going to be starting that next year. We are in the process of getting permits on it, and we are actually, our engineers are working on it. So there is something which is cut above, because Guru Nanak wants the message, Guru Nanak's message is all human beings treated equal. You must have the needy. So Guru Nanak Food Pantry is in progress, open to all faith. So hopefully with God's grace, we will be able to we'll be operating next year on this. So that's like it's in progress. Now this is the future expansion of Gurudwara Sachkhand Diwar Hamden. We are also you have the
in the front.
in the front, and these are the right here. If I can show you, these are the cards for the donation for people in the community. See, Gurudwaras are supported by the congregation. So this is a literature which we made. So we're going to make a bigger Gurudwara Sahib and the Gurudwara food pantry in Hamden. So this is the process. That is the inside of the Gurudwara Sahib. That's how you can see that is where the canopy is and Guru Granth Sahib Ji is decorated. So that's why I want you to come visit and see. But best time to come is about 11 o'clock, 10:30 a.m. and plan to stay there till 2 p.m. Watch the service, watch the prayer, listen to the hymns, and the English translation is displayed. Whatever we do, there's English translation of it, so you can understand that thing. So whenever there's the etiquette when you come to Gurudwara Sahib, give you scarf, you cover your head, take your shoes off. If you can sit on the carpet, well and good. If not, you'll provide you a chair. That's all. Just to give an idea. Now, these are the inside. And the children learning. Without children, Gurudwara is incomplete. So they got to be part of the whole program. Here are children sitting here. They're singing hymns. These are various. Now, we also, one thing I want to tell you, every Gurudwara around the world has one big long flag, which is called Nishan Sahib, which is an anchor thing in front of the Gurudwara Sahib, which symbolizes that there is a Gurudwara Sahib here, and you are welcome. We don't ask for faith. If you need a food, we provide you food. If you need a shelter temporarily, we'll give you a shelter. So that is called Nishan. That's how you recognize the Gurudwara Sahib. Every Gurudwara Sahib has that. So that means that is the international flag. The Gurudwaras are all over the world. I can't even count them. In thousands, millions, I don't know. But each Gurudwara Sahib has that flag. So that means that flag is recognized all over the world. We call it Nishan Sahib. NISHAN So I want you to Google that to find the importance of Nishan Sahib in Sikh faith. So Sikhs added to economy of. So while making these Gurudwaras, but Sikhs are still busy. They're going to work. Isn't that? You can't do without that. So Sikhs are participating in Connecticut economy too at the same time. So Sikhs are in the field of education. Got a lot of people are professors, lecturers, doctors, researchers in Yale University. There are a lot of researchers, Sikhs researchers, PhDs, because Sikhs have to be mainstream people. That's the thing. You go anywhere in the world you go, you will not find a Sikh beggar. A Sikh is not supposed to be a beggar. That is a fundamental belief of the Sikh. You know, there's one city in the whole world where nobody sleeps hungry, and that's called city of Amritsar. Your food langar is open 24 hours, and you can go eat anytime. And you are fed with respect and integrity.
Such good food too.
Such a good food. I can say this very humbly, with the blessings of Guru Ramdas Ji, the fourth Guru who started it, that's the only city in the world, city of Amritsar, where Golden Temple is, no one sleeps hungry. And it's free. Nobody's going to ask you came second time, third time. You can go anytime, every time. And you will be treated with respect. I want you also to discover that too. So these are the contributions Sikhs do all over the world. And the financial field, Sikhs are very strong in the financial industries. They participate in the investments, because there's another advantage. Connecticut is a bedroom community of New York. And Sikhs living in Connecticut, they go to New York and participate in the economy of that Wall Street, or banks, or high post. One of the there's Mr. Baga is the World Bank He's the chairman of the World Bank. So the Sikhs are really mainstream. They're participating in the international economy. Well, I'm talking about Connecticut here. They're in the medicine and research in Yale. You can go find it, Sikhs over there. So then later on, so the government opened, US government opened these H1 visas because they needed the IT people. So a lot of Sikh students or other faiths or other faiths from India, they came here, like a flood of those people came. They, ESPN, Cigna, all these in Hartford area, they have contributed a lot in the IT field. And they are well recognized there, and their work is well recognized and respected. So these then those Sikhs who are not highly educated, say they're semi-skilled, they open small businesses. The Sikhs like to be self-employed. They like to be self-employed. So they're small businesses and the hard local people. So that's the way it is. You will see around town, you will see the pizza places or other retail stores owned by Sikhs and run by Sikhs, and they run it very nicely, and they hire local people as give them the employment. So that's another contribution. It's all part of Sikh history. So now what else we do? We do Sikhs in Connecticut. They also participate in a lot of walks, like there's a cancer walk. This originated from Norwalk, Gurudwara. Then they raise money and contribute to Yale for cancer treatment. And then local organized civic group in Norwich. Right here, we also support Bread for Life in Southington. I was one of the directors over there one time, served on the board, raised a lot of money, wrote a lot of articles. They gave me opportunity to serve over there. And it's a very respectful group who's ready to serve humanity anytime and all the time. I have a lot of respect for Bread for Life. And through this, I will request people to explore Bread for Life and support them. There is one nice group which is helping people. And their slogan is, no one should go hungry. Then participants with United Sikhs, a lot of meals are conducted here right in Norwich. And one of the best things happened by a Sikh in Norwich, this place which we are using right now, Sikh Art Gallery. Now, what is the purpose of Sikh Art Gallery? Sikh Art Gallery, of course, tells about Sikh history, Sikh beliefs, and you can take a tour. But the main purpose of this to minimize hatred. Ignorance, as I told you in the beginning, is very dangerous. When somebody knows, because we become victim of, as being Sikh, mistaken identity. You know, well, I'll give you one example of mistaken identity, just one example. On 9/11, when 9/11 happened, here's a Sikh person, young chap, born in US, became a doctor, and has a turban, has a beard, and serving in the hospital, taking care of the victims for 3 days, day and night. And now he's going back to his home, apartment to rest. He was victimized. And the people who are ignorant, they don't know he's born here, he's US citizen, he's a US doctor, and so 3 days, day and night, without sleeping, the needy, and going to apartment to take rest. On the way, he became the victim of mistaken identity. So that's what this Sikh Art Gallery is doing. It's a part of history. So necessity is the mother of invention. When you travel your journey, you find out these are the hurdles, and how do you overcome these hurdles? But then all these hurdles can only be overcome in collaboration with the local people. And overall, I've been here since 1985 until today. How many years going on? I would say almost 30 years, more than that. I will not say that one person in America, in Connecticut, who has not helped me to solve this problem. 9/11 happened. I didn't know it happened in the morning. I used to have an insurance agency. I was an Allstate agent in my own town, Bristol. I get a call from the chief of police in Bristol. And he used to call me, Manny, are you okay? I said, what happened? I'm okay. He said, you don't know what happened? I said, you don't know. He tells me they want to make sure that you are okay. Nobody came and attacked you here. So that's how they were concerned. I'm just giving you one example. So every time we go in the zoning board, we go to the police station, they are all embrace us, help us, get our permits, get our places. So we have lot to say positive about this country, about the people. And the only thing we have to do is, based upon this history, we all have to together get this hate crimes out of the system somehow. Because we are, at the end of the day, we all are human beings. And the belief is that God has put us on the face of this earth to make this earth better for the coming generation. And that's our responsibility. No matter we own how many properties, at the end of the day, we are all tenants. And the job of a tenant is to make the property better. So we have to make this world better together. And that's our belief as a Sikh. And that's the duty of a Sikh. A Sikh is on duty 24 hours a day. No, I'm not expanded upon 5Ks of Sikh. There are 5Ks of Sikh, and Sikh is supposed to have an unshod ear, number one, and then you have to have a palm. Number two, number three, you got to have a long pant underneath to maintain your discipline of your body. And number four, you got to have a kara, which symbolizes that God is infinite. Remember God. One thing you got to do in life as a Sikh, you got to know, remember God at all given times. God will get through better times, and God will also get through the comfortable times. You can enjoy and sorrow. Everything happens together. And the fifth K is the symbol of Kirpan, which now is recognized, which means it symbolizes that Sikh stands for the weaker section and for the righteous people. It's not that you're supposed to pull the sword and use it. It doesn't. It means it symbolizes that we believe that you should be on the right side of the things. So these are the 5Ks. Because how you recognize these policemen on the road? Can you send a policeman without uniform? So that is the uniform of a Sikh. So if all this is said about Sikhs, then how you will recognize the Sikh? Sikh has a dress. So these are the identity of a Sikh. This goes side by side. And what is the ultimate goal of a Sikh? To become Khalsa. Khalsa means the pure. Because God is pure, and soul has to become pure to merge with God. And through the process of meditation and being good person, good deeds, you purify soul and help humanity. That purifies your soul, and then your soul is ready to merge with God when you leave this world. That's what it's all about. That's the Sikh history. That's the Sikh history of the Gurudwara. You can explore more and ask more questions. Have any? I'm going to not know what time is it. Well, I'm going to end this here. And thanks for listening.
Oh, that's fine. It's 6 o'clock. But you
Yeah.
can go.
I can go another 5 minutes.
No, you can
Finish.
the.
Yeah. Let me complete this out so you can see all of it. So not very well, but I'm under control. These are other things. The achievements of Sikhs in Connecticut. Now, here's the thing. This is a very important part. Good thing you gave me a more minute. Because the state of Connecticut, the government, is on the side of the Sikhs. They recognize in the state assembly and state senators, the Sikhs need some help. And they have recognized, these are the things, these are proclamations. These are the documents that speak itself. You are free to take it down here. They take an update, state of Connecticut. 2018 state of Connecticut in USA became first state to pass the law to recognize number one as Sikh genocide remembrance state. That's 1984.
Is that the only state that recognizes it, or the other state?
So Connecticut is the only state which has recognized in legislation, and it was passed in House, it was passed in Senate, and then the governor of the state signed it. But in other states, these resolutions have been passed in either House or in Senate. Like in New Jersey Senate, resolution was passed to recognize Sikh genocide, and it was in detail, and it depicted what happened there.
Right.
And same thing in I think it was Pennsylvania, House Resolution 1160, which was passed just in House. But also recently in California, also resolution was passed, I think in one of the house. But I think Connecticut is the only state which has passed the whole thing, like the whole process, whole process of getting something done in House, then in Senate, then the governor signed it. So that's like a unique thing about Connecticut as well. And not just that, they have recognized many other historical days for Sikh community as well.
Here's the 2019 Connecticut became the state. The state of Connecticut governor recognized June as Sikh Memorial Month. Here's a visit by the governor over here in the Sikh Art Gallery. So these are the recognitions. Here is when publicly we portrayed, we told about people about 1984, that's in the public library. As a result of that, this place was born. 2026 genocide commemoration at Connecticut State Capitol. That's where this was done. And these are some glimpses of the things that we. Okay, the other thing I forgot to mention that during pandemic, COVID situation, Sikhs contributed a lot all over the world, especially in Connecticut. We distributed a lot of masks and distributed food, cooked food. Nobody was getting near it. And Sikhs were in New York. Can you believe it was recognized to the point where one street was named in Punjabi because they recognized, they realized that the authorities in New York, the Sikhs have contributed way beyond their organizations during the pandemic, and they took prepared food to people where nobody wanted to go. And the fresh meal was given, hot meal was delivered during pandemic. So in pandemic, and there's another thing I want you to write down, which is Khalsa Aid, which is Sikh organization, which goes all over the world. Wherever there is a calamity, they help people with the shelter, food, medicine, bedding, you name it, and they go all over the world. There's another organization of Sikhs throughout the world, which is international organization, which is in aligned with the principles of Sikhism. So that's Khalsa Aid.
This one too.
Yeah, this over here. So I wanted you to see a few things here. These are the Kirpan was recognized as because we know why we wear Kirpan. No, it's not as weapon. It's the Kirpan means out of mercy. That means you are on the weaker side. You're on the right side of the thing. That's what the symbol is meaning.
Recognized by the school. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
actually. So Kirpan has been recognized by Norwich Public School as well in their deadly weapon policy as an exemption.
Right.
And I think that has created a very big awareness overall at the state level as well. But other than Norwich, Danbury and Milford has also recognized Kirpan.
You can Google Kirpan, K-I-R-P-A.
And we recently gave a presentation to the State Department of Education as well in Hartford. It was actually this month in September. So we hope they will do something at the state level so we don't have to go city by city. There are 169 school districts in Connecticut. So we hope something can be done at state level to just recognize it, educate teachers about it. And that way, if there is a Sikh student who is initiated, because only the initiated or baptized, Sikhs carry all the 5 articles of faith. So we didn't have a lot of trouble, but it is a hassle to just explain everything to each district. And sometimes if they don't have any education about Kirpan, they might feel it is a weapon or it's something which shouldn't be allowed. But I think awareness has been gone to a different level and they are very much accommodating. And Kirpan can be even carried in federal buildings. Even in when we go to see senator's office or Rabin building or Senate Hall building or even state capitol, all the PDs, local PDs they know about this Sikh article of faith. Also, Department of Justice have issued a brochure, which is also on the Department of Justice website about Kirpan as well as about the star. The star is a Sikh turban.
That's not crown, spiritual crown.
So it's getting better.
But awareness, it's not awareness. See, here's the thing, all Sikhs don't carry Kirpans. Those are for baptized, they adhere to 5K discipline, as I told you. You all want to Google that? Now, everybody knows Sikhs wear kirpan, right?
You show it to them. They can't.
Now, this has been going for years, since 1699. Sikhs were disciplined to wear kirpan since 1699 year by Guru Gobind Singh Ji by 10th. Now, not even in one incident in the United States, you can say Sikhs use the kirpan in public to harm somebody. Have you ever heard? Because if anything like that happens, you will say, "Here, it spread like a fire." We don't do that. It's just a symbol. Carry that Sikhs believe that, because back in old days it was used to this whole. I don't want to touch that history. Excuse me. Why kirpan was being used? Kirpan was used to crush people when they used to come and convert people from their faith to different faith.
It is only symbol
At that time.
Right. It's also
So it was a need of the time, but now it's a symbol. So because even if when the ruler don't protect the people, who's going to protect the people? A class of people who stands for that. And the 5 case came out of necessity. There's a whole. I don't want to touch that part of the history. I want to explore that. What happened when in the regime of Aurangzeb, Mughal emperor? What happened? That's a different topic of history. So I don't want to intermingle with this Connecticut Sikh history. That is where all these things came out as a necessity. So that's a part of the history. There's a time period in India where these things were needed to help to protect the weaker. And Sikhs, that's why they are militants in a sense. Positive. I want to use the word as a militant as a positive, not the militant as a negative. That they were the protector. The better word is warriors.
saint soldiers.
Saint soldiers. Yeah, thanks for correcting me. The better word is Sant Sipahi, saint and soldier. Why? Unless you are saint, you cannot become a soldier. A soldier got to know difference between right and wrong. So having a saint ability, saint visualization, being a saint, then you know how to differentiate between right and wrong. So Sikh is a Sant Sipahi. Thanks for correcting me. Which means saint and soldier. Sometimes you lose the proper word, and she came up with the proper word, and that is our legal proper word, Sant Sipahi, saint and soldier, and that's where it comes into picture. Thank you. So now next is media campaign, billboards. These are the things which our money was spent by Swanjit Singh Khalsa for the awareness. It's very expensive to do all this thing, but he's been doing it. Billboards and all these things you can see. He's been doing various activities. This Sikh Nishan Sahib, remember I'm telling you about Sikh flag? That's where this is the color of the Nishan Sahib. But it's a tall, big, long flag.
Saffron color.
Yeah, saffron color. April 29 it was recognized state, this side as Sikh Declaration Independence Day. There's another thing. There's a whole history to this thing. Formal opening of Sikh Resources Center in the state of Connecticut. That's where the Sikh Art Gallery was born. You know? So the 5 Gurudwaras I told you, 2 in Windsor, Norwalk, Southington, Hamden, and then Sikh Art Gallery. These are the resources.
Did I see this in the
Okay.
sorry, the one
I want to go back a little bit. I want to show you also. There's a couple of things which I missed. Hopefully I can get back to that. I want to show you Gurudwara, Guru Nanak Darbar, Southington. I also emphasize here, wherever nearby you can go, I recommend that you visit all the Gurudwaras. One Gurudwara at a time, every Sunday. So that's 5 Sundays, or whatever your schedule permits. And this is the 6010 West Street Gurudwara. I think there's a picture of inside congregation. Where was that? Somewhere here. I'm trying to show you the glimpse of Gurudwara, Guru Nanak Darbar in Southington. There was a picture here. That's a very beautiful picture. Swanjit Singh put in this right here. That's the inside hall. It's a big hall. So that's how the congregation sits down. Women one side, men on this side. And that's where the Guru Granth Sahib was done. I want you to point out this picture to you. So this is Southington Gurudwara. Gurudwara Guru Nanak Darbar. It says 16th anniversary Southington. So I just want to point that out to you. So these are, I must have gone here and there, but at the end, I think I completed it. So thank you for listening to me. I appreciate that. It was, thank you.